very good morning and welcome to the daily on MCI TV with Ronette Atwini giving you the daily news. Now what is happening here is the fourth edition of a media challenge program at Jeffrey Hotel. Now this consists of 26 students from the best universities in Uganda, and that I can say Makerere University, UMCAT, IU, to mention but a few. Actually, all these fellowships started on the 23rd of March 2021, and this marks the third day of the training. If I can give you the difference on what the universities give to these students and what is going to happen here, you also find it so amazing. MCI is going to give these students a practical bit of it and also engage them with different mentors. So I can tell you that these students are going to be mentored in how to handle journalism in terms of their real world. They are going to be mentored in how they can face the real world and also be given skills in camera production, graphics, to mention but a few. For those who are interested in anchoring, reporting, I assure you this is the best spot. For any plan to go through, you always have to have an agenda, and this is to say for the previous days, MCI has followed a certain agenda, and they have had fun in these sessions, that's to say games and laughters and also certain dances. Besides that, these sessions are, by the way, so serious as they involve all the prominent journalists that you have ever had. So yesterday we had Daniel Retire, NBS's reporter, sharing with these students how to cover pandemics and also how to cover elections, identifying the role of a media personnel while covering this pandemic. If I can also take you through what the CEO of the Media Challenge Initiative, that is Abbas Mpindi, shared the goal setting of these students and also made them discover what they can really do. We also had Carol Aliba sharing what they can do in terms of social justice reporting, and also Caleb Okeleke from the Minority Report on how to handle a report from the marginalized group. On top of that, we also had a veteran journalist, guess who, that was Andrew Winder, sharing his experience in terms of journalists and how they can really make it to the top. Now I'm going to be joined with my fellow colleagues, that's Joycey, Patrick, and Helen in Studio 1, sharing with us what was the most outstanding to them in the sessions of day 2.
All right, thank you so much, Ronette Atwini, for that review. Once again, I welcome you all to the Daily on MCI TV. My name is Patrick Sentongo, together with my colleagues
Helen Kavahupya, Diana Kansimi.
All right, so Ronette asked a very good question.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. She asked that what was most outstanding for you all on day 2 of the Media Challenge Initiative Fellowship?
Thank you, Patrick. Well, to me, it was the media, democracy, and the development session of Anas Reisman of the Conrad Adrena Steve Tang organization. This, I felt I got to understand what democracy is, being the freedom of the people, knowing what to differentiate between the media, legislature, judiciary, and the executive. However, I also got to know that these are 3-4 interdependent bodies, all of them getting to know information, getting to bond with the media.
I think for me it was more when you look at when you're still on Anne Reisman from CAS, I think what struck me out was the part where she educated us that these are not arms of government but estates. Like in that moment I was like, my primary school's education, I kind of questioned it because in my head I was like, what? So really, and then as for me, coming to me, I think my most highlight was Andrew Mwenda, the late night session. I think the entire day, that's what I had fun with, because oh my God, I've always known this man to be very controversial. Like, you know, he's a government sympathizer. We've had rumors that he's mafia. We have had rumors that, you know, And then in that moment, I was like, I should stop making assumptions on people just because of social media.
All right.
Okay, getting back to that, I also learned about, goal setting, how you can set your goal.
Yeah.
The media challenge fellowship, CEO talked about how you can set your goal.
Yes.
How you can use it with a SWOT analysis program.
Oh.
And this questioned me how we can use them at a personal level, at a business level, and with also other aspects.
Actually, talking about the SWOT analysis, it also blew me away because, I thought the SWOT analysis was only a perspective used in business. And then when it was brought to life when it comes to journalism, I was actually blown away. But again, when you talked about, your primary school teachers or the school,
Yes.
probably it was lying to you that these were all arms of the government.
I wanted to go and pick my school.
So I also was about to ask, if you got chance to go and pick your school fees, would you do that?
Okay, realistically I wouldn't, because they really did an amazing job back then, but in that moment I questioned everything that they kind of taught us, really, because I don't know, I've been thinking away from the whole thing. Could we speak about Daniel Lutaya and the whole journalism crisis?
In times of uncertainty and crisis.
I think you can all agree with me that when you look at our view on social media, especially when you look at people and they're all saying these are pro people, these are anti, and then he gave us this picture of an apple tree. Yeah. And it gave me an idea of the audience, of what we perceive. Some are perceiving hatred, others are perceiving support, others are perceiving sentiments. Sentiments and everything. For you, what would you be your check on Daniel?
Actually, what struck me most with Daniel's presentation, it was about, he struck a question about why Bobby Wine, Honorable Chagulanyi, had the biggest crowds, but then he was defeated by the president in the general elections. Yeah, and so people were brainstorming about, about that particular question. Why a person can have the huge crowds, but then he's beaten in the elections.
Well, Patrick, what I got to know about this whole session, the youth, the youth are the major population in our country, almost 75% are youth. So Honorable Chagulanyi Sentamu, being a youth around 36, 35 years, so he has been close to the youth, and it has been, very easy for him to get the biggest coverage compared to the incumbent.
Okay, guys, still on, if you look at Daniel, it kind of goes into Carol Ariba's session of social justice. The illegalities that happen, every other thing. Like, it was... I don't know how I saw like it kind of merged together, what they have to go through, and then the injustices. And I believe you had something about...
Yeah, actually, what blew my mind when it came to Carol Aliba's presentation, it was that time when she talked about internet shutdown during the times of elections. And she took an angle whereby she brought up the aspect of a person who had disabilities and couldn't carry out her businesses because she did everything online. And when the internet was shut down, probably the people in authority thought that they were trying to put a stop on the people that shout a lot on social media. But then they didn't look at people like this lady who was doing her businesses online and was affected. And there were quite a number of people that were actually affected. People who do business online, people that, do marketing online, people that use internet as their office. That's what's really...
You know what, Patrick? Still with the social injustices, Carol Ariba talking about what we call as minorities. One of the...
I believe it was supported by Caleb Okwereke from Minority Africa.
Very true. He tried to question and tried to talk about what we call or what we refer to as minority groups. Tried to talk about groups like albinos, the disadvantaged, the elder, and
and of course the women also, because
so guys, before we're supposed to be joining Ronette on live, but before we go there, I would want to give a vote of thanks to Media Talent Initiative. Guys, did you see our bottles?
Yeah, sure.
One of you just did a thank you.
Oh yeah.
I'm so blessed.
My experience, you see, I always bought water, Renzori water, and then I used to keep the bottle, and then I just used to fill, and then I moved to town. But well, guess what? Biono Bisanga Media Challenge, they offered us this. It's so sexy, so nice.
So before, thank you for all that. Did you say thank you to the CEO?
Well, I'm very happy. I'm very
You
glad.
should, because this was a very good initiative. So, probably I would want to talk about the key takeaways, the issues that you took away from the sessions of yesterday. And I think I'll start with you, Patrick, because it was a long day. We ended at around 11 p.m.
Yeah, actually for me, we ended at exactly, it was getting to midnight, but I even couldn't realize because first of all, we were all tired, but then we didn't want Andrew Mwenda to stop. So what really took my mind from Andrew Mwenda's presentation was, he took us away from the general perspective of people thinking the government is so corrupt. If people were not corrupt, we could be having this. And then he brought us to life. He painted a picture of how everything is not possible. However much these people were not corrupt, however much all these funds were not being put to waste, we could not have all these resources that people think we should be having.
I think before we go to my most amazing part of, was it violence?
Vialism.
The element of having sex more for
sexual relation to media. No. So what were your key takeaways before I take
to me, that my key takeaways were regarding the social injustices. It was a whole session, a very interacting session. We're talking now about what happens in our society, the social injustices, how we can report for these, undermined, marginalized, or reported.
I get it that you're a woman, and probably that is why you're saying, in Uganda we are like in minorities. So we are going to be joined by Renette Atwine, who is live in the conference room at Defright Hotel as we speak. Renette, if you can hear me, could you please respond? I would like to ask you, what were your key takeaways from yesterday's session?
Okay, thank you so much, Kelly. Now, before I give you my takeaway, I would like to tell you that where I'm standing, my safety is 100% guaranteed. Why? Because people, as you can see behind me, they are putting on their mask well. And also the sanitizing process here is really so much regarded. And if you can also observe very well, they are keeping their social distance very well. Now my key takeaway, what was really the most outstanding for me, it was reporting about social justice. Actually, I didn't know that in every bit of journalism there is that kind of social justice. Let it be business, let it be environment or climate change. So today, as you know, that every day is a day of learning. We expect very much today. And on our agenda, guess what we have is story ideas, development, and we are going to be publishing for the online website, for the online platforms out there. You know very well that if you have your Twitter, you have your Facebook, you have your Instagram, what makes news is what you post on there, and that is the theme of today, as students are really going to be engaging themselves with the online. And also what is exciting today, besides the theories that we have been sitting here for the rest of the days, today's students are expected to move out of this place and enjoy the outside environment, go to the field, and also get some stories. Now, before we go much into that, we expect that some of these students have their expectations for the today's program, and actually they are going to share with us what they really think today they should get out of these sessions. Now, you three gentlemen, I think I should start with you. Please come closer. Hi, how are you? How are you feeling?
Good morning to you. I'm feeling good. I'm good.
Your name, please.
My name is Mugambe Richard, and I'm a fellow at Media Challenge.
Today is going to be the first time you're going to be moving out of this place to go and explore the outside world, getting stories. How do you feel, and actually, what do you expect out of this?
Thank you. I am optimistic. I am looking forward to it. And I think it's a chance for me to do what I have never done before, or to add to my skills.
Wow, that's really so exciting. And also, how do you expect to use these skills that you're going to get outside for your real world?
Well, I expect them to market me. I expect to learn a lot from the people who are here. They are more experienced than I am. They have what I don't. So I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to mine as much gold as I can from them. And then hopefully I'll take it and make a better journalist out of me.
Wow, wow, wow. That was Richard for us. And here with me are other two gentlemen. Let's share with them. What are your expectations today?
First of all, my name is Sulaiman. So I expect to learn a lot, but actually I'm so grateful for this session. I thank the Media Challenge for organizing this. Personally, I came to learn, so all I expect is to learn.
Oh, please share with us too, Mr. Juma.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy that you already mentioned my name. I am very happy and I can't wait really to get to the other session for today. I mean, development, storytelling, ideas. Those are things that I've been waiting for long. So, and also going to the field, expressing what I have learned and also knowing more from the people as well.
Wow, wow, wow. You have had it all, and I don't think that I have to add anything. Actually, where I grew up from, my grandmother used to tell me, if you're to succeed, you have to expect. Now, these three gentlemen, I really hope your expectations are going to be fulfilled. Back to you to the Studio One, Diana.
Thank you, Atwine Ronat, for that. Now in with your local and international highlights. But before that, do not forget to follow us on Twitter, I Am Challenge, Facebook and YouTube, Media Challenge Initiative, and Instagram, Media Challenge UG. The hashtag is Media Challenge Fellowship UG. So, Tracy, the rest to speakership is hot. Could you please, give us a summary?
Well, all I can say now, definitely the rest for speakership has traded around the country, around Uganda.
Yes.
I'll begin with the launching of the manifestos. Honorable Alitwala Kadaga has already launched her manifesto.
Yes.
She has collected all the people on her force,
yes,
supporting her. Women, most of them are women. This is because of gender representation. But however, this takes me back. She has been in parliament for over 30, 10 years.
Where do we cut off to know that 10 years are enough for you? Give it to another woman. We're talking about woman presentation.
I feel she would have groomed, young women, young girls in parliament and tell them, I'm telling you, you're going to do this in the next 5 years.
Okay, I'm told DT is opening up. By DT, I mean Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Is opening up his own social media platform. Yeah. Could you tell us, because he was banned on Twitter, not so?
Yeah.
Yes, so could you take us through that?
Yeah, it's true actually. Donald Trump, after the January 6th final declaration of the main winner, the exact winner of the US elections, he was given a ban on social media, that was Facebook and Twitter. But then, him being Donald Trump, he went ahead on the other level and he decided to create his own social media platforms. At first people thought it was just, Buzz, him being the Trump, we know. But then it's really his personal assistant actually said anytime soon we should expect platforms that are owned by Trump.
So guys, our online viewers, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, guys, please follow the conversation on our social media platforms. The question is Kadaga justified to stand for the third term on speakership, or should she put it to the next woman in line? Thank you very much. Join us tomorrow, same time. We'll be here waiting for you. Oh, you'll be waiting for us. Thank you very much.
Today is our last day here. Very last day. Not just the last day of this week, but very last day as MCI Fellows 2020.
Looking at you guys being like sent out there to become ambassadors of us, changing the narrative, really, really inspires me. Grow with you on this journey, very risky. Over 156 journalists being results of police brutality, but we still go in there to look for these stories to fit to our people and make them believe like, yes, we can do this.
When I came here, I met people. I know if I don't know how to use a camera, I'll go to Nelson. He will do it for me. I'll go to Dan. I'll go to everybody.
And you see, that's what we desire. We all want to leave a legacy. We want to be remembered.
But I know that each one of us has passion in them. Journalists, we always say that passion, passion, passion. There is something that brought that passion in you, something that shaped that passion in you. And usually we use that passion to draw strength from it to do whatever we do.
It's very hard for some of us to create, to maybe do a little concept about something that you've never seen in the media, something that you've never heard of. But for me, it's not easy, but I'll say it's attainable because I love to imagine.
As MCI Fellows, as journalists that are fresh, going out of this place with all these skills, let us tell stories that protect children's mental health. Let us come up with programs that, TV or radio programs that will protect, that will talk about children's mental health.
As we move out as fellows that are sharpened into becoming people that are going to change lives, we should not repeat the same mistakes that we've been doing in life.
You might face a challenge in your life, but at times the time is not right. At times, denial might be a blessing in disguise, but persist. Trust me.
Now, I invite you, if someone comes to you for help, don't reject to help them, because kindness will never take away anything from you.
The bottom line is, I am here and I'm proud of the Media Challenge initiative. I am glad I got to pursue the course that I always wanted, and also, this doesn't stop here.
I hope one day
for joining us on MCI TV. Today being the Friday 26th day of March 2021, my name is Daniel Kibir and the show is the Wake Up Call. With me, I'm not alone. I am with my co-host.
A very good morning to you, our dear viewers. I'm Marcella Riso. Welcome to the Welcome Call show.
Yes, indeed, Marcella, this day is not just any other day for the East Africans. Of course, President John Pombe Magufuli is being laid to rest today. But of course, we shall be letting our viewers know about that much later on the show. But first things first, there is an event happening on J Flight Hotel. It is the Media Challenge Fellowship Program. Well, this happens every year, and this is the fourth time this is happening. Yesterday, we had interesting sessions. We had the media, democracy and development. We had social justice reporting and other, interesting sessions. Marcella, you attended yesterday's sessions. What was the special takeaway for you yesterday?
Thank you so much. I want to say that the most catchy show for me was, the most catchy moment for me was self-discovery moment when the CEO was speaking to us. Many a time, young people like us don't even realize what our purpose is. We might be doing something like journalism, for example, but we don't know what our sense of direction is. So he helped us break this down. For you to know how to set a goal, you need to know what you need to do. You need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, how to improve on your strengths so that you are a better person. So for me, that was my take home. Then also another thing that touched me so much was when Caroline Ariba was talking. She was talking about social justice, and then she mentioned a few things on how there are minority groups and how you report for them. And it doesn't, minority is not defined in a numerical sense, whereby you think because there are few in society. No, it isn't about that. It's about the people that are in these groups, but then are underprivileged because of either geographical setting or other things, other factors that are considered well. Then we also had Andrew Mwenda come in the evening. It was a very exciting moment for me because this was like a dream come true for me to see Andrew Mwenda. But that just wasn't a dream, but also I learned a certain few things from him. It's about persistence, perseverance, and knowing what you want. Then also you should build relationships with people because you need to have these sources to trust you so that they keep giving you more information.
Wow, that's so interesting. And it just reminded me of one thing, reporting on social justice by Caroline. That session was really interesting. And what stood out for me is that I did not know that she had done a story, or she did a story, I mean, about where I come from, my region. When you talk about Sabine or Sebei sub-region, what comes into your mind is FGM and stuff like that. But then another session that stood out for me was the Andrew Mwenda session late in the evening. I mean, the session was just interesting, and it opened up my mind in a sense that I came to understand that Africa is not actually what is perceived to be. Many people think that African countries are still poor because of corruption. But based on what Andrew Mwenda said yesterday, I challenged myself and I was like, wait a moment, I have to do more research on this. So basically, that's what stood out for me yesterday.
Okay, can I also say something? Another thing about the whole entire thing of picking 26 gallant students from different universities to come to a different place, quiet. This is a very serene environment, graceful, peaceful. So you leave your whole life aside, come and focus on something, which is, for me, it's a good thing because you leave what you've been doing, your normal everyday life, you come and multitask, because we had different sessions go up to like midnight, but you're not just doing anything. You're learning different skills, you're learning from people's experiences. So I believe from learning this, you'll be able to put this into practice. But also we have fun sessions. For me, the CEO is really good because there is that time when your brain, of course, goes down and breaks down, but then he knows where exactly to come in and engage the students, because on top of learning, you need to have a break for your brain to...
Exactly. Talking about the 26 students, being brought up to one place and getting to learn from each other and getting to enjoy these interesting sessions, we want to give you the real picture of how things are going on there. Now, we shall take you to the conference hall and we shall be joined by our very own reporter, Richard Mugambi, to give us a picture of what is happening there. Richard, thank you so much for joining us this morning. What is happening right now in the conference room?
Thank you very much, my colleague, Chibet. Good morning, my dear viewers. Welcome to the third day of the fourth Media Challenge Initiative program 2021. And we are here at the Jeffrey Hotel. It's a bright Friday morning. A lot of expectations, a lot of ambitions, a lot of things on the line. The people who are here are all champions because the Media Challenge Fellowship Program is awarded to the best of the 25 of the best students in universities across Uganda. 12 universities in total. Best students, they come here for rigorous media training. They come here to learn, they come here to get out there, show what they can do. And unlike the usual setting, this one is different because of the coronavirus. We are going to see a lot of social distancing. We are going to see a lot of them wearing masks. A lot of them have followed different protocols like sanitizing, and we are going to be talking to a few of them who will give us what they think, what they expect, what they want to get out of the fellowship program by the time it's done. And for purposes of clarity, if you're not aware what the fellowship is a rigorous media training program that aims at skilling students from universities to prepare them for the aggressive media space. And I'm going to be getting a few views from a few of the students right here at the Jeffrey Hotel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
I just want you to tell the people what you expect to get out of media selection.
Oh, I'm Otumba Geoffrey, and I expect to become a great journalist. So after here, because what I'm receiving a summary of what we call the 4 years. And I come from Makerere University, and we do 4 years. Just imagine having a summary of 4 years in 5 months. Yeah, that's very great.
I really understand. So what was the key takeaway for you? What are you going to go home and remember that was the biggest for you?
The biggest for me in the fellowship?
Yes.
Okay. Having a seat with the great, I even don't know, the great students from the different universities, that automatically makes me feel great. These are the best students, the ones you're seeing, and I'm among them. That's the biggest thing I'm having in this fellowship. Being among the top best students around the universities of Kampala, of Uganda.
That was one of the students at the fellowship training right now. I'm going to be handing you over to the people back in the studio, and they will continue the discourse.
Thank you so much, Mugambe. Of course, we shall be getting back to you much later on so that you keep us up to speed with the fellowship. But for now, as you know, we always have that segment of your say. You get to us and share your moment with us. You get to share your comments with us. Today's question, maybe just let them know so that we get to read their feedbacks thereafter.
Very good, thank you. Today we're going to have different speakers on story ideas. We're going to have Carol Beyanga. We're also going to have Media Gone Wrong by Sheila Kawamara. So we need you to share your stories with us on our Facebook page, Media Challenge Uganda, our Instagram, Media Challenge UG, on Twitter, IMC Challenge, and follow our hashtag Media Challenge UG. Thank you.
Yes, that is right. And do not forget that we are streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook as well, just for emphasis, of course. You can go there and look for Media Challenge Initiative on YouTube, on Facebook as well. Then for those who are using Twitter, you can start tweeting or keep tweeting if in case you've been doing so. The hashtag to use is hashtag Media Fellowship UG. Now, we shall be talking to a political analyst. As you know, we are in some sort of a political atmosphere, especially when we talk about the legislation, the parliament. There's a tight race there. Shortly, we shall be joined by the political analyst called Margaret Olore. She will be joining us just in a moment from now. But we shall also be giving you updates from Tanzania, where President John Pombe Magufuli, the late now, will be late to rest today in Chatu, where he was actually born 61 years ago. Maggie, good morning. It's great pleasure having you this morning. How are you today?
Thank you so much for hosting me today. I'm fine. How are you, Mr. Kibet?
Very fine, very fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maggie, straight to the point, you are a political analyst. You've been in this game, for 10 years now. I understand a talk on, parliament speakership race. Right now we have 4 contestants. We have the current speaker, that's the Speaker Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. We have Jacob Olanya, who is the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. We have FDCs. That is Ibrahim Semujunganda. And recently, that was this week, DP, the Democratic Party, of course, fronted a candidate, that is Engineer Richard Sebamala, the Member of Parliament elect for Bukoto Central. Now, the coming in of Richard Sebamala and the sense that these 3 gentlemen are competing against one lady. Do you think Rebecca is still that strong enough to secure this speakership seat? What is your perspective on that?
Thank you so much. And what we should first know is Richard Sebamala, over took power from the current vice president, that is Mr. Edward Sekandi, who has been in power as the Bukoto Central MP since 1996. That has been a long period of time, and we are at a state where people are angry for change. People want freedom. People want someone new in the platform. So it was obvious that since he won the 2021 MP election, so he had to, the DP political party thought that this could be the best candidate for them to face Rebecca Kadaga, who has been in power for now 10 years. So people are thinking like she's not delivering what they want, because the fact that they think she's deciding with the government. So people want something else, someone who's going to be neutral, who's going to listen to both political parties in parliament, the opposition and the ruling government. So DP thought that Richard is a good candidate because he's this person who, if you go back to his history, he has been dealing with the community development, supporting the community. That's why I think he had high chances of taking power from the Vice President, Edward Sekandi.
Look, Maggie, you and I know that this race, it's very competitive, yes, but then we're looking at two people here. We're looking at the current speaker and her deputy. We're looking Rebecca Kadaga and the deputy speaker, that's Jacob Olanya. However, Ibrahim Semujunganda may come in, but I don't think that one may act as a threat to these two. I mean, NRM has some power, But what I'm trying to say is that as per the look of the things, this race is between Rebecca Kadaga and Jacob Olanya. Do you think there's any way Ibrahim Semujunganda and Richard Sebamala could penetrate through and become the next speaker of this country?
What you should know that NRM MPs hold the largest percentage in the House, and for them, they think that they don't want the power to be given to someone else. They want within themselves. So for Ibrahim Semuju to come in, he has to use another strategy and say, this time round, the opposition need to come together. They need to back him up, because ideally there are few members of parliament of the FDC, so he needs to seek support from the NUP and DP, of which DP we have seen that brought in a new candidate to run for speakership. So it's going to be a loggerhead for them to overthrow Rebecca Kadaga, who has been there. And people think, the ladies think that she is the best political speaker because she represents women.
All right. Many come in a race, but definitely we shall have one winner. And yes, you're still watching Wake Up Call on MCI TV, and I'm still, of course, Daniel Kibed. I am with Margaret Olore. She's a political analyst, and of course, just a quick one. You're a political analyst, right? Let's talk about Magufuli, just briefly, because our time is really up. Let us talk about Magufuli. What is your perspective? There are those who praise him, there are those who criticize him. What is your take on Magufuli, even as he is laid to rest today?
It's a somber atmosphere, somber mood. Like, East Africa has lost a leader. We have lost a leader. And when we go back to his life as a president of Tanzania, until his last day, you'll find that for the 5 times he has been in office, Magufuli has done something that our president here has not done in the 35 years he's in office. 5 years, there's a lot of infrastructure development in Tanzania. And this is why people are so much taken, like there's so much in the somber. They can't believe that someone who's developing, who has in 5 years has taken Tanzania to another level, has gone just like that.
All right, we shall have to leave it there, Margaret. Thank you so much for coming through, and we look forward to having you some other day.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
Welcome. Yes, dear viewers, that has been your show today, Wake Up Call. And do not stop tweeting. If in case you haven't tweeted, you can start tweeting. The hashtag to use is Media Fellowship UG. And follow us on our social media platforms. On Twitter, I am Challenge UG, on Facebook, Media Challenge, and YouTube as well, Media Challenge UG. Until tomorrow, it's a goodbye from me. and good day. God bless you.
Today is our last day here. Very last day. Not just the last day of this week, but very last day as MCI Fellows 2020.
Looking at you guys, being like sent out there to become ambassadors of